my name's Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds. Welcome back to the latest video. This video, as always, is sponsored by Shop GNO, The Job Match Group, and Match Bingo. Let's get into it. First up, The Job Match Group. Whether you're looking for your next big gig or just browsing, The Job Match Group has niche job sites made just for you. F1, retail, security, and loads more. They're about matching the right person to the right job. Make sure you check them out if you're ready to level up your career. Then we've got Shop GNO, an exciting new e-commerce site where you can grab exclusive deals and discounts. Right now, One Leeds has an affiliate link just below where you can score a 25 quid membership for free, unlocking special rates and benefits. You can even list your own shop on there with way better rates than Amazon, eBay, and Vinted. They've got some Leeds bits and some general bits now and launching soon, plus some great prizes just for signing up. This is all powered by a massive Leeds United fan looking to make waves in the online shopping world. So check them out and support your local. And don't forget our mates at Match Bingo. They're smashing it with footy fun. You can get 5 bingo cards for the price of 4 through One Leeds, and you can even deposit just a £5 at a time to join the action. It's a big chance to win whilst having a blast with your fellow Leeds United friends. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Check the links in the description, and let's get on with the video. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Conor McGilligan. This is One Leeds, and this is the Rumour Mill. We are back with your extensive breakdown of all the transfer bits, news, rumours, all this extended waffle that we've been going on about for the last however many months. We are continuing until the 1st of September. Listen, I apologize. I've got to say a big apology for just the breaks. The breaks, you know, it's one of those things, guys. I sound like Donald Trump at the minute, but it's one of those things. Unfortunately, look, I've had my parents' 60th. I decided to do their nice son thing, and go out there. Surprise, I'm here. Went out there not long ago, and then the missus's 30th. And apparently, lads and lasses, 30ths now, you have to go away. Yeah, you can't, not just a nice bit of jewelry, not just, you know, a nice meal. We have to go away. We have to go away. And because she took me away to Hamburg last year, if some of you remember all the OGs, I had to return the favour, didn't I? So where did she want to go? Wanted to go to Porto. Fantastic place, but my goodness, could have done without it. And I'm not complaining, of course, but guys, look, I'm here with you guys all the time. I've got to really planning these things, and that wasn't planned whatsoever. So it stressed me out a lot whilst I was away. Had to chill out a little bit. Put out a video yesterday, and I thought, you know, we did it, and it was up a hill, and it was quite nice. And pause, not like that, but it was, you know, up a hill, and she appeared on it, and I just didn't think it flowed well, so I took it down, and yeah, there we go. And I just thought, Connor, just disassociate from One Leeds for one day, just one day away from One Leeds. So I did. So it was absolutely fantastic. But it's great to see all of you back in the building, and yeah, fantastic to see all the regulars back. What's going on? Have you missed me for these 3 days? Lofts, hi mate. Oh, that explains it, buddy. Good to see you in here, mate. James, hi mate. Good to see you. Get in contact as well, buddy. About the thing. Morning, Connor. Are the dominoes falling into place? Let's hope so, mate. Good morning, Connor, and all in chat. Hello, all the One Leads, all the regulars. Tom Frosties, Johnny, Manji, Quirky's in the building as well. Haven't seen better 3D since the Dudley Boys. The Dudley Boys, great reference. Good age. Morning, everyone. Hola, Connor from an overcast Blackpool. What's it like here in a dark side of the Pennines? It's all right. It's not too bad, to be fair. It's supposed to be awful tomorrow. But morning, Connor, watching from a ferry to France. Oh, Kelly, have a fantastic time. And thank you so much. Oh, Harry says, morning, Connor, from Schwangau. Harry, how you doing? What's going on, everybody? Missed you at 10 again. Yeah, apologies. I was getting it going. Johnny's in the building as well. Hello from Beijing. We've got all of them in. We've got Norwegians in. We've got Lars Pedersen. Hello, Leeds fans are flipping everywhere, aren't they? Great. Oh no, Connor, I've got to explain it. Right. So I was out there, and I got this was bad, right? Okay. So I was out there, and you guys know what I'm like. The rail, it's just a bit of a thing with me, really. It's a bit of a thing. I love football shirts. I'm a weirdo. I'm a geek when it comes to football. I love football shirts. So I always go away, and I'll always get a shirt all the time when I'm away. That is. The only time I didn't was Florence, to be fair, but they didn't have Batistuta. I wanted a Batistuta retro one, but they didn't have one. So anyway, I go away. And I think, and I look at the Porto one, and I knew about the Porto one, and it was quite nice in person. The blue and the white looked quite nice, slightly Sheffield Wednesday, but it looked all right. It looked okay. I had a little bit of a look at it, a bit of a try on. But guys, I'm getting older. I'm getting older. I can't be going around in football shirts all the time. Do you know what I mean? I'm nearly 32. I can't be wearing football shirts. So now I've got to think to myself, Connor, what can you wear that's football related, but you could wear it maybe, for a drink or whatever, nice walk in the park with your friends and, their girlfriends and the kids on, without wearing a football shirt. So you got to kind of go for something in between. So this is actually a collaboration Benfica did with them going out to Miami and being part of that stupid competition. But I do think you can wear this out and about. Do you know what I mean? And maybe people wouldn't realize it. I can't go around with like an old Benfica top with IMR on the back. I can't do it anymore. I'm getting too old. I'm realizing this now. So apologies. Morning, Connor from Sydney. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Good to see all of you in the building anyway. Morning, Connor. Living the good life. Good lad, mate. Morning, Connor from sunny Wiltshire. Okay, should we get into it, shall we? Let's get into your latest news today then, everybody. Okay, let's start off with it. So, Igor Julio. Now, we actually spoke a little bit about an Igor yesterday on the video. And for some reason in my head, I thought it was the Botafogo centre forward. I thought we were in competition with Nottingham Forest for that one. Didn't turn out it was that one. It wasn't very clear on the article that I read, but it was actually Igor Julio, who's at Brighton and Hove Albion now, was signed from Fiorentina last season. Hasn't had a great record when it's come to injuries, but is one of the classic Brazilian defenders. Very much of, in my opinion, your Gabriel at Arsenal in terms of his mentality, a winner, aggressive, tenacious, dominant. And I think he'd be a really decent option. Now, the interesting thing about this is I don't know how many players Leeds United want. Do you know what I mean? In this window when it comes to centre backs. Now, this would only make sense for me if Pascal is leaving, and we always say the same thing when it comes to Pascal going and why that, why that would be a problem and how we'd have to replace. Julio is a good ball playing centre back, hence why Brighton brought him in, obviously from Italy. The interesting thing about him is he occupies on the left-hand side, and it probably would see Leeds moving to a back three, but apparently Daniel Farke, according to reports this morning, is very keen. So, look, we know it could all be absolute poppycock, but Alderio Vasco have reported this morning that Leeds are very interested, and apparently it is between Palace, Fiorentina again, who are looking at him apparently, and alongside that, Wolves are apparently interested as well. So it'd be interesting. As I say, very aggressive centre back, not played as much as he'd probably like last season, as you can tell by the appearances there and the clean sheets and everything, etc. there. But I think it'd be a really good pickup. Could you get him and say, look, we are going to bring you in and you're going to have to fight for your place? I just can't see Leeds having 4 centre backs. And at this moment in time, I'm actually really happy with the combination that we've got back there. And guys, throughout this video, don't worry, we are going to get into, I know there's a lot of Leeds fans at the minute who aren't happy. And I get that. And we are going to get into the where and whys of that, and maybe that what sort of annoyed Leeds fans. And I get it. I completely get it. And we're going to get into like the meat of that, really. But we've got a lot to talk about this morning. But let me know in the comment section below, would Igor Julio be someone who you'd look at? And would you like that one? It's a nice Benfica shirt. It's all right, isn't it, mate? It's Connor is no longer a spring chicken. Do you know what the worst thing about it, guys, as well, is like, I don't think so I'm about 84 kg, around about 13 stone, right? And you know when they say like, I remember when I was a kid and I was wearing I'd be like wearing a medium football shirt, and like the old boys would be like, the uncle, dad. Oh, I remember when I used to be able to fit into that, and I'd just be laughing. I'd be like, yeah, but I go gym, watch what I eat. I'll be all right when I'm your age. When I'm your age, I'll be all right. I was putting a medium shirt on. I was putting a medium football shirt on the other day, and I was like, nah, mate, nah, I can't wear that. I'm like, oh God, no. It's happening. So, not sure if Pascal will cost more than 15 million or not. Yeah, obviously we have to take into consideration PSR, don't we, when it comes to Pascal? We'll get into Douglas Luiz, we'll get into Siddiqui in a little bit. Don't worry about that. Pedrino says, I wonder whether interest in a left-sided centre-back indicates selling Pascal, or we stacking defence and potentially playing through at the back against the strongest teams. Yeah, I just don't think that Leeds can do this. keeping Pascal happy is obviously something that they've got to do now. He's not a young lad anymore. He's going to be wanting to play minutes. He's played in the Premier League before. He'll think he was good enough as well. And then obviously they brought in Jacobiol. Is Joe Rodon going to be the fall guy in a 4-2-3-1? I think that would make sense. I've mentioned several times I think Leeds will go to Biol. I think it would make sense for Leeds to go to Biol and Rodon, especially with the likelihood that we're going to be in a low block and it's going to be a very arduous season in terms of defending. So I think that makes a lot of sense. But what I would say as well is I think omitting Strauch from this team with his ball playing ability would be a big miss in a sense. So I don't know what Farke's going to do. And he likes Strauch, doesn't he, Farke? He does like him. But Joe Rodon is his guy, of course. He's played a hell of a lot of minutes for Leeds United as well. But he's not as good of a ball player as Pascal is. So do you want that variation in centre-back? And as well, currently in football, we have this thing, don't we, where it's a brand new thing. Obviously, I think Leeds have had it before, haven't they, with Hunter and McQueen in the 70s or whatever it was, where they had two left-footed centre-backs. But now it has to be a left-footed and a right-footed centre-back. That's just the way of the world now. And I get it. I completely understand. It complements the balance of a back line, really. Two left-backs in a back line and two left-footers, and two right-footers. Complements it quite nicely, especially if you're trying to play out from the back and if you're being pressed, because you can open your body up and utilise it on your strongest foot. But I wonder if Farke's going to do that and he's going to go with a left footer and a right footer. If so, we're not going to see Rodon and we're not going to see B altogether. But I wonder how that's going to work because Leeds are going to be pressed at the back, and it's those dynamics that you need to be thinking about, really. Now, I think I would love Leeds to go to a back three. I would love Leeds to go to a back three. I think a 3-5-2. I think a 3-4-3. I think that works really nicely with what we've got right now. And like Pedrino's quite rightly said, if you've got a back three, that might be more enticing to someone like Igor Julio as well, coming in and thinking, all right, okay, I'm that, reserve one of which I can battle the three for a place. If you come in and you're in Leeds are playing a back two and we're always playing a back two, and then you've got two centre backs on the bench, it becomes a little bit harder for him to get minutes, and he's too good to be on the bench, really. So yeah, something to definitely consider. Okay, welcome back, Connor. Are all teams affected by PSR? Says Patrick Franks. There's a list, Patrick, of the teams that are. There's a list of teams that are greatly affected in this window. Chelsea are at a very good rate. Obviously, they've sold the women's team. They've sold rights to the stadium, and then which puts them in a very, very inflated. A really inflated point when it comes to PSR, which is good. They also put players on 8-year contracts, which they're about to do again with João Pedro. But also they've got Chelsea as an example. The club championship that they're all playing in now is a massive feeder when it comes to money. Massive feeder when it comes to money. I read this morning that apparently from this competition already with Chelsea where they are at, they've already earned 80 million quid. 80 million quid from this competition in Miami at the minute. This is what we're battling against. How fun would it be if Leeds were in Chelsea's position right now, by the way, as well? Just being able to sign it like whoever they want and play Monopoly. You know what I mean? Putting them on 12-year contracts. It's a nightmare. It really is. Hey, back three creates too many problems. I don't think it would with the profiles. Once again, we've not said it since we've been back, but I think with the profiles that we've got at this moment in time, I don't think it'd create as many problems as you think, especially if it was something trained in pre-season. But yeah, I get Leeds United old schools there just said solid back four. Well, if you're defending well and you're defending methodically and you're in a 3-4-3, and effectively you could put, let's say we go out and get Gabriel Goodmanson. I think we did it on the custom lineup. Let's just have a quick look at the custom lineup. So this is kind of what, and don't melt down about Ampadu, right? We can put Ampadu in a second. This is what the 3-4-3 I was looking at, right? This was what we were talking about earlier. That would be nice, in my opinion. Okay, put Ampadu in there, of course. This is when we're talking about a BBDR last week. We'll get into that in a sec, don't worry. But now we've got, in fact, we'll take him out, obviously. But now you've got Ampadu in there, who I do think that is a ready midfield too anyway. Just for a bit of clarification, guys, I had to clarify this. People were having meltdowns about the Connor 6 picks, me not putting Ampadu in there. It's because I was just fitting all the new transfers into Leeds United's lineup. Okay, so if you're looking at this right now, you've got a back three, then you've got Bogle and Goodmanson. Goodmanson, I think he's going to come to Leeds, but when we're defending, they go to a back five. Okay, and I think it's overhyped how bad of a 1v1 defender Bogle is. I think he's a decent 1v1 defender. I think we saw that in the Championship. But then you've got Ampadu and Tanaka there, who I do think is a ready-made pivot in the Premier League. But you've got the defensive nous of Ampadu there as well. Tanaka, to be fair, this season has been acting more of a 6 anyway. But you've got really good defensive presence there. And then going forward, I mean, look at that on the counter-attack. Look at that on the counter-attack. That's if you to bring all that in, by the way, which is, but that's kind of what Leeds will be looking at there. So you're actually probably more solid. You are more solid as a three at the back. You've got an extra centre back on the pitch. So, yeah, that's kind of what you will be looking at, which would be interesting to see what happens anyway with regards to that. Bazzy says, hello, Connor. Glad I finally caught your stream. Been with you since the Bielsa days. Tuning in from my home near Osaka, Japan. Oh, one day, mate. One day I'll get out there. I'm getting pressed by the missus to get out there. Japan. It's the new thing, innit? Wish I was. I wish I could be out there right now, my friend. But yeah, shout out to you, buddy. Okay, Tim Weah. Apparently Leeds are in for him. Leeds, Forest have it's been a bit of a complicated issue with Timothy Weah. Now, obviously, a very, very promising player, someone who we're probably all aware of. Now, Forest were in really advanced negotiations with Timothy Weah. 21 million quid, apparently. The valuation is, his market value, you can see on screen, is around about 25 million quid. But apparently Forest, the rumours earlier on was that Weah and his camp walked away from negotiations with Forest. But reports are suggesting today that apparently Forest were not happy with the conditions in the deal. Now, we don't know what that is, but as of when I left to go away, Timothy Weah was a Forest player. And I was speaking to a couple of mates on the plane via text. I was like, that's a decent signing. It's another really decent signing. It facilitates a lot of what Forest are all about, strong at the back and a really effective, exuberant counter-attack, of which I want Leeds to kind of deploy if we're solid enough at the back, which I think we have the hallmark to be. Tim Weah, I think, would be a lovely addition. I think it'd really complement an attacking line. Very nice, balanced, tall centre forward. I think can play along that front line as well. Quick. So, yeah, I think that would have been a really nice addition. And the thing with Juve right now is Juve appear to be okay with letting players go for very decent valuation. It's a thing. And look, AC Milan have just put a host of players on the transfer list right now, which is quite staggering, really, or available to go anyway. And it kind of shows the state of Serie A at the minute, in my opinion. Benassa is someone at AC Milan who, if we can go get Benassa, that would be unbelievable. But then you've obviously got Yassine Adli as well, which I didn't expect, who is probably going to be touted by some of the top clubs in Europe. But Serie A is struggling at the minute. Really struggling at the minute to get real decent valuation. And when I was even heard the 21 million, I thought Juve would be able to demand a little bit higher for someone of Weah's age and profile and expectation and trajectory, really. So I was quite surprised when I saw 21 million quid, but apparently Forest stepped away, but apparently Leeds are now interested in him. And so we don't know what that is. As I say, the stipulation in the contract Forest weren't happy with. Don't know what that could be, but apparently Leeds and Everton and Crystal Palace as well are interested in the signature. So yeah, let me know what you guys think on that one in the comment section below. Okay. Let's have a look at NFFC. I can see in there as well. Yeah. Never been so happy a player rejected as. Yeah. I don't mind him, to be honest. I don't mind him on a transition. Maybe for a Nottingham Forest right now, it'd be a difficult pickup, or it wouldn't be a worthy pickup. I think Forest scouting network has been very, very good. Very, very good. There's not been many misses, in my opinion. And I think that will be a decent acquisition for Leeds, to be honest with you. But you've got to look at the upgrades on what Forest have got at the minute. And I think it's hard in that front line, especially with how quick they are, to get serious upgrades on what you've got right now. I think with Leeds, a lot like Lucas Nemecha, it would fit a certain profile of which we don't have, So I think it would be a very different conversation with, yeah, probably. Is that? Oh, thank you. Do you want to take that back then? Thank you. Right. Yeah. So as I said, we've. I think for Leeds it'd be an interesting signing, guys. I'm just gonna have a little bit of a. I do this all the time, but I'm gonna have a quick look at how you guys are doing in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna have a little quick look. What's going on? How many have we got? We've got 900 of you in the building. You're all getting called out here, and we've got 267 likes, guys. I'm gonna give you the Robert De Niro. I need you to get in there and like that video. Make sure you like that video. Yeah, make sure make sure you do that. I'm still tired. Weah is an exciting one. I aren't bothered about Weah or anyone any more Americans flashbacks coming. Come on, we can still have an American boy. I'm happy with having an American boy at some point. Weah and Louise double deal for 30 million. Johnny, how mad's that though? How crazy is that? Backers, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that in terms of what's going on and Leeds moving forward this week, which is going to have to happen. Right. Hold your horses. Let's have a chat. We were talking about Erkan Sashir last week being the option, the Trabzonspor goalkeeper, being the option that Jose Mourinho and Fenerbahce were going to go for when it comes to a goalkeeper. He's the captain at Trabzonspor. Apparently, all signed, sealed, and delivered. Now, that is a separate conversation to what we're going to speak about today. So just park that for a second. Karim Kona, who can be 50-50. He told me off once for commenting on one of his things. So yeah, I'm going to be nice to him here. But he revealed that apparently, take it with a pinch of salt, this is the room mill, not the consolidation mill, confirmation mill. Progress has been made over the weekend with Ilan Mele and Fenerbahce. There is a broad agreement, and the detail was apparently Fenerbahce were too low when it came to the valuation. I don't know what we deem Ilan Mele as in terms of a goalkeeper, the worth. But anyway, they were way off apparently. So Leeds United, apparently, according to a cream here, have come to a broad agreement with Fenerbahce for around about 10 million quid. Yes, I did say that. And apparently that is a happy medium between the two clubs. And the expectation, take the pinch of salt, the expectation is that Melier, Ilan, will be going for a medical in Turkey this week. So I don't know. Now, this is as of just researched this a hell of a lot this morning. This is the only link I can find with regards to Melier having this week. Now, we did speak last week about a huge Turkish publication suggesting that Ergan Sashir was going to be Fenerbahce's pick. Akreem has got a large following, which nowadays it effectively means you're a reputable source. But something to keep an eye on. Ilan Melier. It seems like there has been no quelling of Ilan Melier leaving. This would be an absolutely beautiful day, with the greatest of respect, but it would be. And I do wonder if a broad agreement is met between the two clubs, which makes a lot of sense, because obviously Leeds want to get rid of him. I've always said Leeds will be able to get more for him. And you guys know in here, Leeds will always be able to get more for Ilan Melier than you'd expect. More than you'd expect. Is the amount of games he's played, the amount of Premier League games he's played as well. Playing under Marcelo Bielsa. There's a lot of factors of which some clubs would look at this and think, okay. So, Chris in the building, member 16 months. Shout out to you, Chris. What's going on, mate? What's going on? I appreciate all the content, Connor. Gets me through the mornings. Keep up the good work. Good lad, Green. It's it. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Love you lots, pal. Love you lots. It's been reported, another Forest fan in here, Nick, I see you in here quite a bit. It's been reported that Juve are trying to offload players without, in some circumstances, selling the player first. At least a dozen are being offloaded. It does feel like this, mate, with Serie A, though. There's been rumours as well that Inter might have to get rid of quite a few, which is mental, with their position as well. Inter, AC, Juve. But the amount Juve are asking for some of these players, like, there is top players in that Juve setup. And I said to you guys not long ago, there was a public, I think it was Weah, and there was another. Obviously, it wasn't Yildiz, but it was another one, another really high profile player. There's like a combined fee of 22 million euros. I'm like, Leeds United, there has to be some value there. There has to be some value there, surely, at some stage. Prepare for a relegation battle. Yeah, Are we not preparing for that anyway? The general. Great picture, by the way. Don't like saying it, but great picture. Right. Okay. So, okay. Let me just paint a pretty picture. A pretty picture would be if this happens this week. Okay, I've not spoken about this yet. If Leeds United sell Elan Melier for 10 million quid, right? Now that's going to be a big if in itself. If we're able to do that, and then we get this man for a reported 13 million quid. And let me tell you why I'm a bit excited about this. Leon, in absolute cataclysmic state, very, very poor state, just been relegated to League Two in France. They're appealing it, but apparently the appeal is not going to be upheld. It's going to be a tricky one. They are going to be playing football in League Two for the foreseeable. Major assets. We spoke about Mikatatse last week. Obviously, we spoke about Malik Fofana as well. The sum of which you don't expect, right? The reason you don't expect this is because Fonseca, Leon manager, has said he believes he's the best goalkeeper in League One. Now, Lucas Perry is a top goalkeeper. I was away, sunning myself, just sitting there on a beach, contemplating, thinking about why Sunderland fans are blowing up the phone. Ha ha ha! You didn't get Habib Diarra. Ha ha ha! Unlucky, mate. Ha ha! You going down? Okay. So I was looking at, I was scrolling, having a quick look, all this sort of stuff, and then I see this, and I'm like, no way, no way. If Leeds manage to land this, I think he's got something like 10 clean sheets in 33, which I'm not going to be a hypocrite here. I've always said with Elan Melier, look, clean sheets don't mean everything. The championship, of course, because it's the whole, it's the unit which keep clean sheets. With Leeds United, we've had an impeccable defense. We've conceded very, very few chances, fewer chances than Burnley throughout the season, by the way. So there's context, but this guy is a top goalkeeper. Top goalkeeper. So rumors from the French side are suggesting that Leeds United have made this guy a priority. Now, our last priority, then we're going to get into priorities. And wait to stay with me for the 3Ds. But we are going to get into priorities toward the end of the video. Our last priority signing, Jacobiol, we got him. Amid interest from Newcastle, amid interest from West Ham, amid interest from other clubs as well in Europe. Apparently, according to reports today and yesterday and throughout the weekend, Lucas Perry is Leeds United's number one option at the minute, or number one in terms of our shortlist. Now, I think this makes a lot of sense. But if you're able to sell Elan Melier for 10 million quid and bring this guy in 13 million quid, I am going to be there at the end of the week laughing and smoking a massive Cuban and saying, we're here. Because that is your goalkeeper sorted. You brought in a top centre back as well. We can work on midfield. There are a lot of options out there in midfield right now. There are a lot of really good value options, in my opinion, on the European circuit. And then if you get someone like Rodrigo Muniz, you are laughing. And look, I'm not saying you are staying up. I'm not saying that. I'm not deluded. I think it is going to be, there's still a likelihood that team goes down, by the way. A massive likelihood that team goes down. But if you are able to get Perry, if you're able to get Beal, if you're able to get, and I've mentioned Nick Pope, okay? I wonder how far this is going to go with Nick Pope. That's all. I wonder how far this is going to go with him because Trafford bid rejected. Burnley want 35 million. The dominoes have to fall into place for Leeds to then go and get Pope. Apparently, Pope is keen on the move. Apparently. Okay. I've heard from somewhere else as well that apparently his agent has actually got in contact with Leeds United, but, pinch of salt and all that. But, yeah, as I say, if they're able to get rid of Melier, 10 million quid, go for someone like this, or even Nick Pope, 10 million for Melier, and then you bring Pope in for 10 million quid as well. Last year of his contract. Yes, please. Give me that contract. This is what I mean, guys. The value for someone like Elan Melier, I've always said will be high. He's got a bit of a rap sheet of which you can sell to a club, 100%, if you've got a good agent. This guy was pitching. He's been pitched to Deserby's Marseille for 15 million quid by his agent not long ago. And Marseille were agreeing to it. Leeds were the ones who backed out because it wasn't enough money. So, yeah, real positives there. And that just shows how things can change in a week. And it's not like we're not. I'm kind of. I have to say, I'm kind of getting a little bit frustrated with the. And look, I was going to get into this at the end. All right, I was going to get into this then, but we're just going to move on slightly. Okay, And look, you'll be able to see some of the dealings here, but we are going to just touch on this, okay? We're going to touch on these two. Habib Diarra, Ronaldo. Okay. Now, look, we've spoken about them on the room mill before. We've spoken about them on the room mill before, and we've said, look, Habib Diarra, literally just had him in my custom team. But what I did say, and what we have said on here, and what we've said when we've had guests on as well, is there's sort of two key positions. Look, you want your midfield. You want your midfield, of course you do. Flipping out. Midfield, you guys always know it's the engine, it's the brain of the operation. But Leeds have got a good midfield already. I think we have a better midfield. And I was mentioning this to a Sunderland content creator the other day. And if you're watching, you know you are. I think we've got a better midfield right now. Obviously, you know, with everything that's happened with Sunderland when it comes to Bellingham, obviously Diarra coming in for them. Amazing signing, by the way. Amazing signing for them. But I think we've got a Premier League double pivot. I believe, this is my belief, I believe Ethan Ampadu is a Premier League player. I think he is. I think all those years at Chelsea, he was extremely unlucky to be behind some world-class players. I think Ethan Ampadu is a Premier League player. When you look at some of the central midfielders in the Premier League, we know it's a level up. I think Ethan can make that. I think he's got all the tendencies to do so. Don't muck around and be putting him centre-back throughout a season, which we've done for the last 2 seasons. We're getting centre-backs. We've got one that's consistent now in Jacobiol, who pretty much plays every minute of football. You've got the exact same thing with Joe Rodon. Pascal, of course, we have the periods out, but we've now got that replenished with, you know, BL coming in. Might even be another one if Igor Julio is to come in and we're to deploy a back three or whatever. But the main positions for me, because of Ethan and because of Altanaka and how good they are, the main positions, and I'm not saying I wouldn't have taken Habib Diarra, I definitely would have. How he would have fit in is interesting in a 4-2-3-1. I don't know where he would have. With Sunderland, I get it. Joe Bellingham's gone. Habib Diarra comes in. It makes perfect sense. With us, I was still a little bit confused. And you guys got very annoyed. A lot of you got very annoyed when I was doing the transfer video and Habib Diarra was in instead of Ampadu. A lot of you got annoyed at that. And what we've got to bear in mind as well, that was just a transfer video, a simple bit of fun. But what we've got to bear in mind is Ethan's our captain. Okay? So it's all well and good, but if you're sticking to a 4-2-3-1, you got your captain and the best player in the championship last season. You've got Declan Rice talking about as a midfielder who he absolutely adores watching and can't wait to play against in Tanaka in the Premier League. Are you going to go out and spend 30 million quid on another central midfielder? As I've said, I've not been a hypocrite here at all, but you've got to think of the system as well. If Farke doesn't change and he's going to keep a 4-2-3-1, is he going to play in a 10, Habib Diarra? No, he's not going to play in a 10. So who comes out? This is what I'm talking about right now. So we've got, if you are to go for a Noah Siddiqui at 10 million quid, okay. Now, Siddiqui's a decent player, 5'7", gets himself about the pitch, good coverer when it comes to ground, obviously, good in his duels, not amazing on the ball, not terrific when it comes to ball progression, but, you know, improvements needed. He's only 20 years of age. But where is the necessity, right? Striker. 7 days a week and twice on a Sunday, I'm taking a striker over a central midfielder for Leeds United right now. If we're going to put all our eggs in that basket when it comes to the financial side of things, and a goalkeeper, and we all know this. Left back, yes, I think that will get done. Don't get me wrong. And the depth options in Leeds United squad, I think that'll happen over time. But Farke mentioned on the 7th he needs to bulk in. This is a big week. It's a big week for Leeds after he said that, of course. But central midfielders are out there right now. I am not losing my mind over Habib Diarra. I'm not. He'd have been a nice addition. I don't know where he'd have fit, though. For Sunderland, it makes perfect sense. And maybe, when we were having conversations with Strasbourg over that period of time, him and his agent wanted to be told where Habib would fit. Well, you're going to be competing, mate. You're not guaranteed. Sunderland can guarantee him starting. And our bid, which official sources have said didn't go past 24 million quid. So if we were that keen on him coming in and being a starter for Leeds United, you pay 30 million quid for him. We were in negotiations and contact apparently with Strasbourg for about 2 weeks. So there was interest there. Leeds were clearly keen on him. But at the same time, is it something of which I'm going to lose sleep over? Absolutely not. Now, I tell you what I would lose sleep over If Sunderland went out and bought Rodrigo Muniz for 40 million, then I'd be like, Leeds, come on. You know, that would be one of which I'd turn around and go, yeah, that's not ideal. Habib Diarra, I like him a lot. I've glazed him a hell of a lot, and we've been talking about it. So I think it's a fantastic signing for Sunderland. Muniz gets in, starts for Leeds, and makes complete sense. I don't know if Diarra starts in the formation we're at right now. The formation we're at right now, unless we were to go to a 3, which I don't think we will. So Leeds would have gone in for him for competition, and that is quite right. And Sunderland are going to have that, and it's going to be fantastic for them. And he's a real addition. But can you spend 30 million quid on someone when you're going to be playing a 4-2-3-1 and your captain and our best player isn't going to be taken out? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. So interested to see what you guys think on this one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what you guys are saying on that one. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Let's have a look. Aronson's position is strengthening. It does. Of course it does. Of course it does. 24 million was all the money. 30 million quid too much. I think we could get Hayden Hackney, and shout out to you, mate. Good to see you in here, Ross. Good to see Hackney and Michael Cooper for less than the price of Diarra. Is Siddiqui a top target? Is that where we're at? What the general, mate? Why are you worried though, pal? And it's your opinion, my man, but it is only the 30th of June. It's only the 30th of June. A week is a long time in football. You've seen in 1 week Sunderland be linked to Armand Loriente, who you guys all know I was a massive fan of and was part of my original Big Six in terms of the 6 picks from Sassuolo. You've seen Sunderland be interested in Marcin Bulka, which has now fallen through, but that was close, apparently, if you're to read reports. Habib Diarra, and Reinildo. Okay. Now, Reinildo for me, okay, it was a free option. Brilliant from Sunderland. I know Leeds were in for it, but once again, I'm not melting down over this. A free transfer is going to drastically improve Sunderland, in my opinion. But I'm not having kittens about this. I'm really not. Us and Goodmanson now feels like it is a saga that's going to fit into place. 25-year-old Lille left back. I like that much more. I have to be honest with you. So I'm not with these 2 signings. I mean, we've not heard about Mandava for the best part of like 3-4 weeks anyway on the rumor mill. So yeah, a lot of context to be taken into consideration, everybody. But let's move back to what we're speaking about anyway, because I think it is really, really important to speak on these things, because it's just been chaos. It's been absolute chaos in terms of Leeds are too slow. I've seen people say, well, we got look, the likelihood is we will go down with the other 2 promoted clubs, but people are saying that now already, we're done now. We've lost out on Habib Diarra at Sunday. I don't think it was that, guys. I just don't think when you're looking at Ampadu and Tanaka, Leeds are willing to go to 30 million quid for a player who isn't going to seamlessly fit into our side like Diarra will now Joe Bellingham's gone. It doesn't make sense for me. But yes, 100%. Right, let's have a quick look at something else as well. Joel Peru has been speaking to a Dutch publication, and interestingly has been saying that he wants to test himself in the Premier League and is looking forward to it. Now, why is this interesting when it comes to a bit of conversation, discourse, debate, discussion? It's really interesting because I thought maybe with Joel that he could have been one of the ones who fell short and was sold. Yeah, we're having a little bit of a betting game, and I thought this one might be one where a team comes in, Southampton, who've always had interest in him. I thought you might have got a Southampton coming in, or a team abroad, definitely a team abroad, coming in for him and slapping down 15 million. Leeds losing out on him, because I think we paid in around 15, 20 million, didn't we? So it might be add-ons when it comes to him. But I thought he might have been one of the ones who may have fallen short. And the interesting thing about Peru is I don't really know how to look at him. Some days I wake up and I think to myself, off the bench, we saw how important he was off the bench at points last season when teams were tired, and his class just took it to a different level in terms of being able to finish teams off in the last 20 minutes. I think that's where he's going to be decent in the Premier League. And I think that's what will happen. I can see Peru getting maybe 6 goals in the Premier League, 4 to 6 goals, which I think will be a decent contribution. There's no way, in my opinion, he's a starter at all. So it was interesting hearing him saying it, because there is, and there will be. Look, he's been Leeds' lead player, hasn't he? He's golden boot. It's ridiculous. It's probably in the same conversation as Daniel Farke, when it was, is Farke going to go? Can you get rid of someone who has just got you promoted and won the league, got 100 points? Can you get rid of someone like Joel Peru, who has just scored 19 goals, got the golden boot, and he's only 25 years of age, wants to play in the Premier League? It's been a long-term dream for him. I think there's probably a reason he's not played at the Premier League and started for teams in the Premier League. But it depends, I guess, where he is in that pecking order. Because if he's second striker in the Premier League, I think that would be okay. You do wonder, though, if Leeds are to look at a couple of big players coming. I think Bamford will go. What happens with Peru? A couple of big strikers coming in. If you bring in a Muniz and then you bring in, I don't know, a Gonzalo Garcia, we're going to speak about this morning. What happens to Joel Peru then? Do you just keep hold of him? I don't know how far down he goes, because I could see Leeds obviously getting rid of Bamford. I think Leeds will get rid of Joseph this window as well, which takes you down to two, really, doesn't it, in terms of Nemecha and Peru? Maybe that's what they're thinking. It's going to be Nemecha, Peru, and striker. I think that's how they're looking at it right now, which is interesting. Would I like, if I'm being brutally honest with you, would I like an almost second striker who, let's say, if you're bringing in Muniz and you've got Nemecha there, just because of Nemecha's injury record? Peru's got an excellent injury record, by the way. But would I want someone who's maybe level up to Joel Peru? And that sounds ridiculous, but probably, which is mental. But I don't know. Maybe that's me being a bit picky. Listen, Gonzalo Garcia, another one on the mill this morning. Now, the Real Madrid Castilla player has broken records this season, scoring 25 goals in his domestic league. Record breaker, never been done for Real Madrid before. Leeds and Sunderland are apparently in for his signature. Let's leave that one alone. Because it just feels like this is going to be the one. I think Leeds and Sunderland are just going to be dropped in so many players because of the size of the clubs as well and the clicks that it generates. I mean, you've seen what's happened this week when it's come to Habib Diarra, when it's come to Ryan Ildo. It's been absolutely mental. So, and this is the guy I'm going to end on, guys. I just think it'll happen, won't it? I just think Leeds know what they're doing here. I keep mentioning this, but there is interest in Fulham. Looking at, as I said, Romelu. You guys know we spoke about him on the last rumor wrap, I think it was. We spoke about him. Pepe as well, the US men's national team player. Two strikers they're looking at. They've already got Jimenez. Money talks. And Leeds know that. Money talks. They've seen it. Habib Diarra, another one who apparently wasn't considering anyone in a relegation battle, but then went to Sunderland. So, and there's a lot there. I think there's a lot of consideration. I think Leeds will have a big week. That's my prediction. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments section below. It has been an absolute pleasure. As always, the One Leeds is always the best in the game. Let's see how many of you are in here. Let's see how many cheeky chaps are in here. We can't, okay, apparently you can't find One Leeds fan, not One Leeds fan channel. What am I doing? One Leeds, there we go. I keep mistaking that. There's 1.2k of you in the building. You absolutely lovely lot. I've not even put a thumbnail on this. Do me a favor, everybody, slap a like on the video. We are going to be continuing to improve this. Head on over to the second channel as well. We've got some bits and bats coming on over there where I think we're going to speak about Sunderland as well. I find it quite interesting how they're going about things. So if you fancy that and other bits of transfer content, head on over there, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure. We're going to be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. But keep your notification bell switched on, because I'll upload just a random walk along. By the way, guys, you absolutely smashed it when I was away as well. The last video did 20k views. And I'm just walking along. But you guys love those sort of style videos when it comes to One Leeds. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's been an absolute pleasure. My name's Conor McGilligan. See you tomorrow morning.